Hello there and welcome along the Gardener Ben with your next rose review here. And the rose I'm going to be talking to you about today has a really lovely name. This one is Lovely Lady. Bred and introduced in 1986, this one was bred by Dixon and is available through a multitude of different sources here in the UK and also through Peterbill's roses. This is a very small and compact hybrid tea rose, which means it produces just one singular flower per stem. And as you can see, the flowers for the size of shrub are actually really quite large. Measuring some 3.5 to 4 inches in diameter, they are absolutely perfect and the perfect example of a hybrid tea rose. Now, full disclosure, these ones are a little bit blown. It's so very hot here on the south coast of the UK that I've been kind of putting this review off a little bit, thinking the weather will cool down, and it simply hasn't. It's got hotter and drier, and the flowers are opening this very soft pale pink. Normally, Lovely Lady is what we would describe as a true pink or a strong pink. A very distinctive type of clear pink, a nice strong and dark color, which slowly fades out to this very soft apple blossom white with notes of yellow and apricot right in the very center. But with the weather conditions we're having, these aren't holding on the plant for very long, and they're also opening very pale indeed, which is not normal. Lovely Lady has a very long flowering period and starts flowering in early June, marching through with flowers produced all the way through to the very end of September into October, and if we have the weather right here in the UK, sometimes even into the very early parts of October. I say, being a hybrid tea, it will produce very large flowers, one flower per stem. I'll get one of these out in just a moment. One flower per stem held on normally quite upright and strong stems. The plant only really reaching a very small and compact size, meaning if you're growing in a small growing space, or if you only have a container garden, Lovely Lady is a perfect rose for growing in a large patio container, a pot maybe on a balcony or a terrace, just reaching around 60 to 75 centimeters in height and around 60 centimeters wide, so very small and compact. That's also mirrored very much in a very small and delicate dainty foliage. As you'd expect with a rose of this breeding, this one, I say, bred in 1986. This one went on to win an AGM of a Garden Award of Merit from the RHS in 1993. But as you would expect from a hybrid tea rose, very small and delicate foliage, high gloss and high sheen, very dark in its coloration, very dark indeed, but a really high gloss sheen over it. Now, barbs are present in all parts of the Lovely Lady's growth, including along the very back of the leaf axil. So do be careful as you handle these, especially if you want to cut this one and bring this into the house. It does cut especially well. I say these very large, blousy flowers normally would have that very telltale hybrid tea swirl right in the very center, and opening completely as they completely blow out. The very sort of good sign of a hybrid tea is the petals, as you can see, not only bending back in towards the central stem, but also curling around themselves as well. So you get this deeply ruffled look, opening right up. Let's take this flower out. We can't avoid this any longer. I'm going to handle these very delicately because these are, I say, blowing out very quickly. Those petals rolling back to the central stem and curling back around themselves, giving this highly textured and ruffled look to the very center of the flower. In hotter conditions, now full disclosure, hot conditions here on the south coast of the UK, we're talking 28, 29, 30 and even up to 31 degrees. Those are the temperatures we've been experiencing over the last couple of weeks, which have really been leaching the colour out of this. Right in the center of the flower, you'll find it lovely yellow peachy apricot tones and a central collection of golden stamens. Now, I haven't trialed Lovely Lady to see whether it produces hips, but as you can see from the very back of the flower, there is quite a distinctive swelling there as well, along with that lovely yellow and apricot tinge. I'm expecting, if I stop deadheading Lovely Lady towards the very back end of September, that this one will form quite large, round and plump hips for the autumn and winter season. season. But this rose will cut particularly well, really lovely exhibit size blooms, exhibit quality blooms, produced singularly on upright and very, very cuttable stems. They are quite thorny, so if you do decide to cut them, you are going to have to debarb them. They're really very, very small, but they are numerous. So today, lovely lady will be registered with a medium thorn count from myself. Now, I do loads of research on the roses that I bring you, and just to explain my process just a little bit for you, not only do I observe the rose here growing in the garden for between 6 months and a year, to bring you my personal growing review. I'm backwards and forwards to the plant almost every single day, having a look at the texture, the form, the colour, its disease resistance, its foliage, its fragrance, but I'm also using about 6 or 7 different websites to reference different things for you as well. And the reason why I mention this today is because lovely lady on all the websites I've looked at is registered with quite a strong or a medium strength fragrance. I'm getting nothing from lovely lady at all. Now, as you can see, I've got what, 5 or maybe 6 blooms here, and I've smelt them all. There's absolutely nothing on them at all. So for myself, lovely lady is going to be registered with just a 2 out of 10 for the fragrance rating. Every other website I'm referencing is saying that lovely lady has a strong perfume, and it's normally quite apparent with a hybrid tea that they normally have quite a clean, fresh fragrance, normally citrus based with a sort of clean linen edge, something green tea based, but there's nothing on lovely lady at all. Now, it has been exceptionally hot, but I've picked these flowers early on in the day. It's only about 9 or 10 o'clock today, and it's really quite cool, so I was expecting some fragrance off of these. But just so you know, I'm registering this one with a 2 out of 10 for fragrance rating, but I'm getting nothing from lovely lady at all. If you have any difference of opinions on that, please do leave me a comment below so everybody else can see what your opinion on the fragrance is. But I'm picking up nothing on lovely lady at all. Disease resistance wise, I'm pleased to offer this one a good solid 6 out of 10 for disease resistance. So this one came from Dixon from a breeding time where the disease resistance was very important. This one very, very resilient to heat. Say it's standing up really nicely, although the colour is bleaching as you'd expect it to do in soaring high temperatures. This one is lovely lady, and I say a really, really nice hybrid tea. If you're looking for something to cut and bring into the house, the flowers are going to last for about 5 or 6 days in a vase. I mean, these won't, because these are really quite well blown. But if you were to cut these when they had that lovely telltale swirl right in the centre of the flower and allow these to open in a vase at home, they would last about 5 or 6 days in a vase. So very, very pleasant. This particular rose really needing a position in the garden in full sun where it's going to get at least 4, 5 or maybe 6 hours of direct sunlight per day. To be able to fuel this many flowers on a small plant that's only reaching about 75 centimetres tall, you're going to need to make sure that you give it plenty of sunlight. So on a south or west facing aspect, somewhere where it gets lots and lots of direct sunlight. But today's rose is Lovely Lady, brought to you from, I say, Dixon, and launched in 1986 and available here in the UK. This particular rose going by several different names, so do check the caption if this one appeals to you and you're joining me from a different growing zone. So I will make sure all the other names are registered in the caption below. But today's rose for you is Lovely Lady.